What conclusions do you draw?
That if men believe things strongly, they should be prepared to die for them.
And what would you be prepared to die for, Lady Jane?
I would die to free our people from the chains of bigotry and superstition.
Helena Bonham Carter once said that she should have a couple of ribs removed because she'll spend her whole career wearing a corset. And she's right. She's somebody who is constantly typecast in period pieces, and yet she finds a new way to approach every role. Something that sets Helena Bonham Carter apart from her British peers is she actually had a kind of Hollywood path to stardom. Instead of formal training or something like the Royal Academy, she was just discovered as a teen. She's somebody who found an agent, started modeling, started acting on television, and slowly worked her way up to film.
You've really no idea what's going on, have you?
I know the priests were all corrupt.
No doubt.
They told the people they must worship icons, mumble spells.
Well, that concerns me less.
You know you're talking of your soul.
The first lead role Helena Bonham Carter was cast in was as Lady Jane Grey in 1986's Lady Jane. Here, you see what really made her career. She is this kind of beautiful porcelain figure, and yet she's a character that stands out against her peers of the era. I think in Helena's performance, as well as her co-star Cary Elwes, you see a new style of acting, and a style of acting that sets her apart from the traditional trained actors around her. She's much more passionate, she's much more experimental, and this really makes her character seem like someone unique and unusual. Lady Jane also reveals the kind of cage that Helena Bonham Carter was trapped in early in her career. This image of a porcelain-skinned, beautiful, virginal, perfect woman. She played it here and in Room with a View the same year, and she found herself a little stuck in these roles for years.
Yes, come on! After all, we should be grateful to Victor for abandoning his experiments for one afternoon.
Well, who says I have?
One role that allowed Helena Bonham Carter to break typecasting was as Elizabeth in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Kenneth Branagh's adaptation of Frankenstein is this kind of grand, wild, operatic film. Helena is playing pretty much the same kind of virginal, perfect woman, but it's really over the top. It's kind of a wild and theatrical film, and she really digs into almost a parody of her usual character. One of the great opportunities for Helena Bonham Carter in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is that the film's finale really focuses on Elizabeth and her transformation into the bride of Frankenstein. She gets to really be the pivotal role, and she gets to play something completely out of the ordinary for her, which is this unusual, baroque, and bizarre monster performance. She gets to really be kind of the disgusting showpiece of this film.
Well, I hope I didn't scare him away.
Oh, no.
It's not what you're thinking. No? No. He's an old family friend.
Another role that helped Helena Bonham Carter break convention was in 1997's The Wings of the Dove. This film, from Henry James's novel, is what at first seems to be a fairly typical Merchant Ivory style period piece, but it is filled with a level of eroticism which was fairly unusual from these films. Here, Helena Bonham Carter plays Kate Croy, a woman who is torn between riches and a passionate love affair with a poor man. She thinks she finds a way out through manipulation, but in doing so really shatters her own life. I think one of the reasons why this film earned Helena Bonham Carter her first Oscar nomination is it finds a way to use the character's sexuality to inform character and storytelling. This is not just an erotic film that is showing stuff to titillate, it is showing how this character evolves and changes in erotic scenes.
You're a wet nurse now, eh, Miss Withers?
Shall we get this over with? We've searched before and found nothing, but I'm happy to comply again.
You're a very clever woman, Mrs. Ellen, I'll give you that. The way you seduce these women, draw them in, train them in destruction.
I think when you see modern roles like Helena Bonham Carter playing Edith Ellen in Suffragette, you see a lot more of what she is demanding out of roles and what she's bringing to the stage. What Helena brought to Suffragette was the story of Edith Garud, the story of a woman who taught the suffragettes martial arts. She taught jujitsu. She was very interested in self-defense among the suffragettes. Helena was very inspired by this woman's story. She researched it heavily, and she based her composite character very closely on her. She actually requested that the character's name be changed to Edith in honor of her, and made a much more quirky, interesting, and unique small character part really shine.
Where did you find this physician?
Classifieds. Next to a French model, Shepherd's Market. There it comes, highly recommended. Charges substantial fees to help the poor. Oh dear, perhaps he's a Bolshevik.
Helena Bonham Carter earned her second Oscar nomination playing Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, in 2010's The King's Speech. When it comes to The King's Speech, Helena Bonham Carter is really stealing scenes with her comedy. She's so funny and finds a way to be funny while still honoring a real character and what they went through. Once again, The King's Speech shows that Helena's research really shines. She actually met a lot of the Queen Mother's ladies-in-waiting, she interviewed a lot of people, read every biography, and she said that she really realized that the Queen Mum, while known for her kind and comedic attitude, was really putting up a front. She finds this character who has the strength that her husband, King George, does not possess. So the next time you sit down to a period piece starring Helena Bonham Carter, I suggest you look at just how different each role is compared to the next. There's something unique every time she's on screen.
Would you like some tea, ma'am?
Yes, I'll help myself. Off you go. Or must I knock your heads together?